Without further ado, man, everybody, welcome to the Dating Secrets webinar, man. This is about to be an amazing webinar. I got a lot of little tricky things to go about going about, but even more so, how to rejuvenate a guy's mind and a dating mentality. It's going to be a definitely new perspective and also a very in-depth perspective. So every session on this thing, I'm going to be going through it pretty good and in a good way. And at the end of it, I want you guys to actually go about understanding how to ask me the right questions, and I can open up for those Q&As because I know you guys could probably have some questions. So let's go ahead and get into it, and let me share my screen. So let's get on into it, y'all. Let's get on into it. So these secrets rejuvenate your dating mentality completely. This is to transform a provider into a nourisher. We got to know how to be a nourisher in a healthy way, right? So let's get into the details. So this is the agenda we're going to be going over, y'all. We're going to be going over everlasting impressions, forbidden psychology tips, mental battles, no competition, of course, some exclusive resources, and I'm going to give you guys some heads up on some things and even more. So this is every single segment. I'm going to have a secret twist to it. So it's going to be very, very interesting on the twist that I'm actually going to put about. All right. So let's get right on into it. I mean, all y'all kind of already know who I am besides Brandon, but I can give Brandon a little bit more insight. You know, Brandon, hey, I'm a life and dating clarifier who helps modern men repair past relationship traumas to create a thriving lifestyle in a multitude of categories. It can be fitness, finances, dating, brotherhood, bond, and much more, brother. So that's definitely a little glance about that. And even more so, you know, the heritage of why I even want to do this webinar. And the biggest thing is I see there's an absence in men and what they need. And I think it's more so understanding how to deal with these modern women. And I plan on giving you guys the keys and the rules and the jewel book to be able to do so. So without further ado, I don't know if you guys are ready, but you guys should be ready to take some notes. It's about to get real interesting. So let's get on right on into it. So first one is everlasting impression, right? So the first thing you really want to understand is using trans words, which means connected, right? So when I say trans words, I don't know if you guys even notice it, but certain times when women talk, they tend to use the same words in the same sentence, right? So like, oh man, yeah, I had a fantastic time in LA, and I just can't even describe it, but it was just so fantastic to me. So fantastic would be the trans word, right? So sometimes when women actually talk, they tend to use certain words in that type of vibe. And you as the man, if you pick up on that radar, you can also say those words back and how you talk to your words. And that's going to signify to her like, oh, damn, he's connecting with me. He's saying the words that I'm saying. It's like a little tricky thing to understand, but even more so that leaves a very deep impression because most guys don't pick up on that. All right. Now, the next thing, the location on dates, that equals credibility. Typically, I don't know, most people, for me, I like to always go on crazy and random dates, but then more so in crazy locations sometimes that kind of put off like I got great taste, I got a great vibe. Or I like to choose actual locations that, shit, I already know everybody there. So if I know everybody there, what does that mean? People gonna be saying, what's up, baby, how you doing? I get a lot of stamp of approval of type of social life, right? And unfortunately, women just love a guy who gets attention. So that automatically gives great credibility. Now, the next thing, of course, I don't know why, but it's definitely a lost art, was an exceptional listener, AKA equals pure respect and appreciation. So when a woman actually sees a guy actually listens to her, when I say eye to eye, you know, actually understanding her and appreciating her space and everything she says, he says something related to what she said. It makes her feel to a whole nother level of like, damn, why am I, this is nice. It's unfortunate, bro, but it's crazy. Just being an exceptional listener would just change a whole woman and how she looks at you and how she values you. So it's a really dope thing to really understand. And of course, don't interview her, you know, and that should go without saying, but let me give you more example. A lot of guys tend to give a woman an interview type of face on dates. Hey, what's your favorite color? Hey, what do you do for a living? Hey, how old are you? Hey, where are you from? All the basic questions that damn near anybody and everybody asks. So she automatically goes to routine type of feelings, right? So you want to ask questions that actually warms up her mind and her heart. So like the questions in my book list, that if you guys haven't even took the time to look at them, one of the questions in my book list, you know, how to connect to, if you're going to get close to somebody, what are the top 2 things about you want them to know about you, right? So by asking that type of question, you know, actually warms up her mind and also warms up her heart. Like, damn, that's a deep question. I feel like this is going to be a good date. So you want to ask dope questions like that really helps you and helps her actually create a vibe that's going to be different from what you're already normal to. So that's a real key you really want to be mindful of. And of course, find what she lacks emotionally and provide it. So that's by asking the right questions, right? Sometimes in childhood, you know, woman didn't have a social life. She didn't get noticed. She wasn't complimented a lot. You know what I'm saying? In her past relationships, you can ask her certain things about that. And guess what? Just by first being around her, you can automatically feel things that she's never had or she was lacking for years. And what you just providing that from the first moment, she's like, damn, this guy's just different. This guy's on something, he on a different type of vibe. And because of that, she's going to look at you differently. And that's only the first encounter, right? So that's definitely a very powerful thing. And these are some very powerful, everlasting impressions to make off the rip. And it's just everlasting mentality of like, damn, this is a good ass date. But, without further ado, like I told you guys, there's going to be a secret twist to this. And the secret twist is planting a seed in her mind. Now, I don't know if you guys watched the movie called Inceptions, right? But this is what I say, a secret essence to really plant in her mind, right? And this is just for me that I've learned to understand. Whenever a woman has a lot of fantasies or a lot of things that she's been wanting to do for years, and she's never been able to accomplish them, and you've been a guy who starts to see all the little things, for instance, like the Amazon list, right? She can have a whole list of an Amazon registration. You start just getting little things in there off the rip, or even more so start to help her accomplish shit that she's never done. She's never traveled here. Hey, she's never wrote a book before. Hey, you push her to do stuff she's always had on her mind to do. And you're the guy who caused that stuff. Guess what? She will start to look at you in a way of like, damn, anything that I want to do amazing, anything that I feel like is on my mind for so long, he's the guy that I need to go to help push me. And it start to create a seed in a matter of a very elusive way for you to be like, she looks at you in a totally different light than any other person. Could you be there for her in a magnitude like type of way, if that makes sense? So without the first ado, that's actually the first segment, a little glance at those things. But so far, do anybody have any questions? Mr. Outlaw, you got any question? Everything I went over? Anything I went over? For sure, for sure. What about you, Rich? I know you write notes. Are you looking at something?
Yeah, I'm jotting down some notes. I was actually just writing what I want to get from this presentation, and I would like to have more of a mindset switch from I just feel like I see a lot of just triflingness, and the way you're presenting this is telling me that, yeah, there are good women that, you should like put in like good work for. And, that's an important thing, I think, to experience. Like I move around a lot, I travel and stuff, and I'm always in and out. And sometimes you kind of lose touch with that purpose. Like I got a girl now, but, I'd love to stay with that purpose of, let's cultivate and nurture, nice things.
Sure, for sure. Appreciate you sharing that. What about you, Brandon, brother?
Bro, you said to not like have that sort of interview mindset. Did you have any examples of sort of questions that get into that emotional sort of mood, if you know what I mean?
Got you. So like, if you haven't noticed in my bio, some of my booklets on there is called How to Connect with Anyone and How to Reveal a Personality for Anyone. And I'm starting to make the videos for them, but better less, How to Connect with Anyone. You want to have questions that make so anybody, but better yet for a woman, actually think. For instance, like one question would be, it's not an interview question, just a dope question to ask. Now, hey, who's somebody in your life that you actually admire and why? That's a very powerful question to ask. So for you, by getting that information from her, she's like, hey, I admire my actual grandfather. And she's going to be like, why? Why admire my grandfather? Because, when I was born and raised, he used to always be there for me. He was somebody I can go to. I trust his words. He always spoke what I needed to hear versus what I wanted to hear. He was always there for me whenever I called upon him. He just always had a supportive nature, right? So by having this powerful information about her, you can see easily for yourself how you can be somebody she admire off the rip, having the characteristics of why she say why. So you see how easy it is to format yourself in regards to those answers.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So that's like a example. But of course, in my bio, you can just put your email in and it can just get sent to you, the whole booklets, and have dope stuff like that. So it's not interview questions. It's some unique type of questions. And Noah, you got any questions so far, brother? I know you came in kind of late.
Yeah. No, everything is making sense. I'll probably try to figure out the right questions, but I'm definitely going to get the booklet and look at it more.
For sure. And all the questions in there, bro, you guys can choose whatever question that resonates with you. So it gives you a good example, a good platform. So without further ado, let's move on to the next section, the next section. So this one is going to be all right, y'all, there's going to be some very deep stuff, man. I don't know if you guys need to pay attention to this part. This is going to be, this is the forbidden psychology, all right? So these types of stuff is is to help you tap in a different way, right? So the first one is pain/pleasure, right? So like in life, we work to seek pleasure and avoid pain. But what most people don't know is that absence of pleasure usually results in pain. That's where you come in and provide your woman with pleasure and excitement such that your absence results in pain. That way she knows that not going on a date with you will result in an absence of pleasure. It's pain. So really ask yourself in this regard, man, whenever you're around a woman and you actually on a date, or better yet, a woman that you're constantly dating and things of nature, when she's around you, does she feel like she's a revived, happy, like full of energy, just energetic, versus whenever you're not around, it's like, damn, fuck, I don't really feel alive. I don't feel the same in that regard. So when you as a man, whenever you want to have a first impression on a woman or first impression type of vibe, right? You want to make sure that you put attention to how fun you are and being fun. And even more so when guys and people are around, you're very sociable and you're respectful to people, and people automatically feel vibrant around you, if that makes sense. And then by doing so, whenever your guys are starting to come on more and more dates, you will start to see more and more like, wow, you know, when I'm around this guy, he makes me think, you know, he helps me see the future. He's consistent, you know, he's just always speaking some very positive and dope things. So she'll automatically start to feel more excited to be around you because you're always talking about something exciting. Versus when she's not around you, it can start to be like, oh. So like that pain versus pleasure thing, the absence of pleasure is pain automatically. So the absence of being around somebody you really appreciate and enjoy, it's like, damn, I miss them. So that's something to definitely think about and understand what type of impression is your girl giving off that you give. Because let's say if you're around her and she just, no different if you weren't around, bro, what are you really doing? What kind of impression did you put on her? That's some things you want to be mindful of. Now for the second one, you really want to understand, engage her investment mechanism, right? And this is a very interesting one indeed, but it's more so to get her into doing more stuff for you. And it's getting her to bring you like an umbrella if it's raining, or having her make a reservation at an Italian restaurant. You want to try like near her neighborhood or near wherever you guys are at, right? By doing this, you subliminally increase her investment in you, and this will increase her trust and connection. However, don't do deadbeat shit. Don't ask her for like money or ask to use her garage for a band practice, or don't be a fucking leech. So understanding in regards to all this is more so really asking yourself, how do you present yourself for her to invest into you? For instance, for me on a date, or if a woman come over, I always express that she needs to bring wine or she needs to bring dessert off the rip. I want to see how she is just by investing her time, effort, and energy to do something for me. And you really want to start to understand that. And it's not a bad thing to do, because you automatically, as a man, we invest in things to her, right? We automatically, as a man, you putting up your effort and all that space and energy. So you need to make sure you express to her to do the same. And that's how you're going to feel more and more that it's real in that regard. I hope that all makes sense. But of course, it's definitely something to really think about in regards to how are you allowing her to invest in you, or if you're even expressing it to her. Now, the next thing, silence. And I think silence is a very, it's a very self-explanatory thing, but it's really not. So like, for instance, whenever situations occur, and there's a lot of situations that we don't cause to happen, of like this discomfort in the relationship, or you had an argument or anything like that, right? And she may have brought it up to you, or she may have caused this to you. It's not up to you to fix that. It's not the weight upon you to fix something that you didn't cause. You know what I'm saying? And for me, that's just something that I just learned over time. Like, silence is more so to kind of just smooth out whatever happened. But if I didn't cause it, why am I fixing this? That's not cool. And it should become over time, the silence of, damn, I'm sorry about that. Or she will automatically say, I'm sorry about that, because she's going to see a version of you that she probably would not enjoy. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that you want to do that. It's like, bro, I didn't cause this. So why am I need to be the one to fix it? And that pressure shouldn't be upon me. And then she would look to want to fix it more. So instead of feeding into all the bull and all the essence of all that and arguing and stuff like that, just be quiet and just let her get it all out and to continue moving, and then she'll fix it accordingly. She'll say, I'm sorry. And I'm pretty sure we all experienced that. We all had a woman come up on us and talk crap and then this and like that, kind of testing us in that regard. And you just kind of just like not feed into it. After a while, she'll probably say, I'm sorry. She'll probably be like, let me suck your dick. Like, I don't know. She tried to fix the situation in the end. Now, the next one obviously is an interesting one, but you have to understand, create an emotional roller coaster. Now, as the man, you understand not to do anything too crazy, but you want to create an emotional roller coaster. The reason why is that women are emotional creatures and men, we are logical creatures. So understanding that, why do the women choose the bad guy over the good guy every time? Because the bad guy stimulates all and way more emotions than the actual good guy does. So because of that, in the sense of creating longevity, and unfortunately, women do love drama. That's what they do because it stimulates them emotional. As the man, you have to be mindful, how can you cause a little drama sometime in your relationship to keep it strong and to keep it tack and keep it healthy? Because we're in a different era. Social media stimulates us all with drama at all times. You as the man, you have to understand how to conduct those things too as well, unfortunately. And of course, one forbidden psychology is show business principle, right? A lot of times, guys don't understand this one, but this one is very an interesting one. If you guys didn't notice, like, who ends the call whenever you guys are done with the call? Who ends with actually cutting a date off or dropping somebody off? If the woman does that for a guy, whenever we kind of like dismissed, it kind of makes us feel some type of way. It kind of like withdrawal. It kind of makes us feel some type of way versus if you cut it off. For a woman, why she looks at you as more attractive. A woman will become more attractive to you and she will want more from you. She was like, damn, this has been a good movie so far. We having a good time. Why you want to cut this off? Well, shit, I want to see you again. I want to keep this going. I want to try to see another way we can make this work or another way that we can keep this going. So I'm saying, so you definitely want to be mindful of how you go about this because, when she's the one who is sending you home or ending this, ending the kiss, you've created some level of withdrawal. But when you are the one to do that, it's the opposite, and which is what equals to attraction. And that's just how it works in that regard. And so to really get into a different level, the ultimate way to get a woman, and ultimately, and a lot of guys really don't understand this, and I really don't know why. The easiest way to really get any woman is more so, or any person authentically, is just being yourself. And the reason why I say a lot of guys don't maximize being themselves, they don't really embody that there's been billions of people ever created on this earth, and we all have different fingerprints, which means we all are created uniquely in our own way. But even more so, how Mr. Outlaw is Mr. Outlaw, how Rich is Rich, how Brandon is Brandon, and how Noah is Noah, and how fucking Switch is Switch. We can't be each other. We can never try to be each other. But we all are unique, totally different in how we think and how we move. And that's our actual superpower. And if we maximize our own qualities and make them shine, it's game over. So any person feel that authenticness. So for this session, man, anybody got any questions? Rich, you got any questions?
Yeah, the best, just off the top of your head, one or two effective ways to create drama, because I wrote down a few and mine might be out of pocket. So
what did you write
down? Just, creating the what do you call it? I don't know, AMS, abundance, creating abundance. The perception of an abundant social life. Options, there you go.
But sometimes it's about understanding your woman's pet peeves. So I don't know what your woman pet peeves is. Like, for instance, for my woman, it can be leaving the air in the cheese, leaving the air in the cheese bag. And if I don't do that, it causes her discomfort for some reason. That may be little drama of annoyance, but that little thing, one day on her period, can cause fucking catastrophic things to unravel within her. So it can be little things, but sometimes it's about the timing of that little thing that can cause some bullshit. But even more so, let's say you forgot that you guys had date night, even though you really didn't, but you just kind of just planned something else and it kind of just missed your mind. And you don't do that often, but let's say if you've done that, she gonna be like, well, damn, he don't remember me. What am I doing wrong or this and like that? Like really not showing her appreciation or remembering stuff automatically. Sometimes you may be forgetful. Nothing wrong with doing that sometime. You're only human, but she would most likely think those days are planned out right.
I like that one because that did just happen to me. She planned the whole thing. I don't know if you saw my story. I didn't get to finish my story about my fighting sort of history. I was posting about the thing. I don't know if you saw it. No. Yeah, that was the night I called you. I didn't get to finish it. Yeah, because we had a date thing she wanted to do.
Oh, okay. So stuff like that can be annoying, but even more so, I would say telling her to do something that you don't want her to do, or telling her to do something that it's like a waste of time, or you already done it already. Doing something that you already done already and just having her do it for no fucking reason. Like little stuff like that it can be annoying. So anything that causes a little annoyance it can just be like, yo, what are we doing and stuff like that. It can cause a little drama. And it's real easy. You start to catch on to like what actually makes your girl tick. Because every woman is different in what they feel is like drama and stuff like that. So Ty, you got any questions, brother?
No questions, brother. All good.
He just big chill. Brandon, my guy, you got any questions so far?
No, but I had the similar sort of question about the drama thing, but that makes sense now.
Got you. What about you, Brandon? I mean, Brian, goddamn. I guess he doesn't. Okay, cool. So now this next session, man, it's gonna get more in-depth and personal with us, man. We all men here. So that's why I wanted to get this from next and get it really more into detail. So mental battles, right? So mental battles, right and wrong means nothing. Now, a lot of times we are all conditioned in a way of we are all conditioned in this way. And unfortunately, say anything that happens, or there's a right way to ride your bike, there's a right way to tie your shoe, there's a wrong way to tie your shoe. There's always right, this and like that, versus actually focusing upon the actual purpose at hand. Is my shoe tied? I don't give a fuck if it's right or wrong, as long as it's tied. You know what I'm saying? Now, in the sense of dating rides, right? You want to understand in the sense of if you're dating her, you determine what's right and wrong. But even more so, she's going to express all her rights. But a lot of times women have never been exposed to the right things. She only knows the wrong. So for you, you want to have a new type of foundation of how you want to go about that. So there shouldn't be no right or wrong. It should always be the perspective at hand, right? So, hey, if I'm trying to just have sex with her tonight, then this is the only thing that I'm going for, and this is what I'm trying to do. I don't care what I need to do. I don't care what happens. I need to make sure I go about this in a morality standpoint, how I want to go about this. Now you make a plan accordingly, right? So for instance, for me, if I'm about to have sex with her, that is what my objective is. But even more so, let's say if I'm trying to date her again, but let me say if I'm trying to actually have a relationship with her again. Now, whenever you are in those type of modes, the only thing you need to be worrying about is making sure it's healthy. And by making sure it's a healthy foundation, you don't want to make it and as such for yourself, like you're looking at things, and this is kind of tying into like the pause for the cause and the roots of the feelings. It's more so understand what your role is. I want to maximize being a man, so I want to maximize being logical. And women, I want her to maximize being emotional, right? And unfortunately, throughout the centuries and time, women have always been an advisor to men. Because the thing about it is that women always have so many ideas that they give a man, and it's up to the man to pick which one is the best one to go for, and we just go for it. Right or wrong, whatever the fuck happens. So I got ideas, I'm gonna go for it, I'm gonna pick one, let's go. And we just maximize that. So in the sense of a woman, you want to keep her in that regard of being like your advisor, but even more so get conditioning her into that. So there's some things you definitely want to think about and understanding what type of environment have you put your woman in whenever you dated her, and actually when you was in her. Did you put in an environment that makes her thrive, or do you put an environment that doesn't? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times women always ask, and even my woman, they always ask me like, hey, what can I do for you? How can I be here for you? What do I need to do? They want to be led. A lot of women just want to be led, and it's very simple to be led. But you as the man, you have to have a clear vision of understanding fuck right, fuck wrong. What is the object, man? I'm trying to get rich one day. What I need to do to make that happen? And let's just get it done. And the other thing, obviously, look in the mirror. You know, a lot of times as men, we don't look in our mirror. We don't actually just look in the mirror and answer ourselves. Like, bro, am I doing what the fuck I told myself I was going to do? Am I doing what I want to do? It's not about doing what you want to do. It's about doing what you need to do to be able to do what you want to do. So you really want to get raw with yourself whenever you look in the mirror in the morning. It's the time when you're wiping yourself, combing your hair and stuff like that. Cool, just look at myself like, I'm proud of me. Or like, all right, man, another day down, another day trying to go. So I always want to ask yourself in those regards and discuss your issues in person. And this is the big one too. I try to get better with this one and understanding, like if I have a problem with somebody, an issue with somebody, I try to FaceTime or I try to meet them in person. I want somebody to actually like feel the socialness of me. Social media has made it so, I hate to say it, social media has made a lot of punks nowadays. People be just talking crap to people because they know they ain't gonna never talk to them or face-to-face things of nature. I try not to feed into that. I try to stand true what type of man I'm trying to be, or type of king I'm trying to be. And I feel like that's more so handle the things personally. And handle things personally, I want you to feel me, I want you to see me, or I need to come in person and tell you about my issues too. And that makes it that much more stronger of understanding, no, you're not living in this world of just social media, everybody talking like who, like, nah, I'm different from that, bro. I actually handle my stuff. Video call, I try doing it in person, on the phone, I'm like, bro, that's a bailout to me. So that's something to definitely think about. Now let's get into more the secret tricks. Knowing how to pick your battles is a skill worth mastering. Knowing how to pick your battles is a skill worth mastering. Ask yourself how many times you chose the wrong damn fight to take and you took an L. Not even physically, in discussions and situations like, damn, I probably shouldn't have made that move, but that done messed me up. I need to get better with my decision making. And that would have definitely saved me a lot of times. But honestly, you can't get better at this without having a lot of failure. And this is just, it's a representation of how much you are trying all the time. So you may meet people in the sense of Greg Condo and all these amazing celebrities, stuff like that, right? They failed so many times, but now they went to a mastery level of like, shit, I know where to fail at. I know what area to fail at. So it don't seem like I'm failing. I'm just doing something great. So in the sense for dating wise, where do you actually go to be around these women, or what type of woman you even trying to meet? If you always meet women at the club, guess what, brother? That's probably not the place to meet them. If you keep kind of getting new women. You met a woman at the church, them women are low key, freaks, and nothing wrong with that. But even more so, are you going to like volunteer activities? You know what I'm saying? Are you actually going to the pool hall? You're like, where the hell are you going to meet these women? And that can be a reflection of you picking the right battle and when to know what to pick it. So that's definitely some things to really grasp and think about in the mental battles of as a man what you're facing. And we can definitely go into deep into this. But Mr. Outlaw, Mo, what's some things that you got something to say, ask?
You know what? No, actually, for the first time, I'm just in agreement with everything you're saying. I don't have anything really to elaborate on. I think you're doing a really good job at that.
Got you. What about you, Mr. Rich?
A-okay so far. A-okay.
Got you. Love it. And what about you, Brandon?
Yeah, bro, everything's making sense.
Cool. And what about you, man, Brian?
I don't have anything to say. I'm just trying to take everything in. That's all.
I know I told you I'm doing a lot of information, but I definitely want to make sure you guys understand everything I'm saying. We'll get more deep afterwards. But now to the next session. Now, this session right here, this is what makes you shine bright whenever you just embody your own superpowers of you, right? So no competition, right? And it's that simple. It don't get no clearer than that. Women can sense and feel inauthentic. They can feel whenever you're not being yourself, or they can feel when you're being somebody else. Because it makes it obvious you can never be them. Like for instance, me, if I'm trying to be like fucking Chris Brown and talk like him and trying to talk Suave and all this stuff like that, or Usher and stuff, bro, I'm never gonna pull it off. It may work for some women, but it's not sustainable because it's not me. I'm being fake. And women can feel that fake vibe, bro. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but for me, I've always noticed when a woman can feel like, no, you lying, or my intuition ain't feeling right. Versus when I'm actually being raw, I'm cutting me, bold, charismatic, just honest and straight up to the point. They look at me different, like, damn, this guy, his energy, he's different. Yes, I'm different because I'm being me. So it's gonna always happen. But this is a big one that I hope you guys actually take the time to learn on your own time. But identifying body language is 70 to 90% of nonverbal. We don't even understand nowadays, but a lot of our communication is not even about talking. How a woman actually looks at you. So for instance, like if a woman is talking to you and she's engaged in the conversation, she'll be face to face with you. She'll be body to body with you. But in the store, let's say you roll up on her, right? And she stays this way. She's not like engaged in a conversation, like the body way and how she moves and how she's actually looking at you the whole time, and she's smiling, not smiling. But even more so for you, you're like, what are you doing that's nonverbal cool? Are you in a threatening, non-threatening state? Like there's a lot of things within your body you need to correct, and that's why I actually created that booklet, the 39 rules, because, it's more so pertaining to how to correct our actions more than our words. And so that's a really deep thing that guys don't really understand. We need to know how to correct our actions, because our actions speak way before our words do. So if you got both of them lined up, it's game over according to who you are. Now, the next thing, watch in slow motion other men talk to women. I don't typically always do this, but usually when I go out, my first thing to do is kind of just to go straight to the bathroom. And I used to go straight to the bathroom to kind of scan the environment, no matter where I'm at, the bar, the pool hall, wherever I'm at. I'm kind of just trying to find a bathroom, kind of take my time to walk there, see what's all in here, what type of guys are in here, who's being talked to, who's not being talked to, who's being weirdos, not weirdos, but even more so who's having fun and not having fun. You know what I'm saying? Okay, this is the area I probably want to set up home base at, a station area. Hey, this is the area I probably want to talk to them. Or this area, okay, this area needs some life into it. Let me go ahead and bring this out and people are going to resonate to me. So you really want to look at things in slow motion of like, what type of men are around and what type of aura they're bringing. And you can see off the rip how you need to be. I mean, Ty, you've been out with me a few times. I mean, you already know I'm a wild boy. I'm the type of dude, when I meet when I bring my girl, I jump on Zenith back and I start riding like a horsey. I'm on some wild shit. I'm just a wild dude. But the reason being is that I just look to be myself. And because me just being myself, people automatically like, who the hell is this guy? So when you shine bright like that, it's just, who are you? Just be maximize who you are. And at the end of the day, everybody loves a fun person. That's just what it is. And of course, no one can be you. That's your superpower. It's really, kid you not, you know, how Mr. Outlaw dress, he makes all his clothes and everything from scratch. His swag is strictly for him and how we bring it, right? And that makes him stand out like a fucking, not a needle in a haystack. I would say more like a diamond in a haystack, right? It's more so very vivid and who he is and what he's about. And Rich, whenever Rich starts talking and speaking how he breaks stuff down, he's just a different breed. And then Brandon, you know, I haven't seen your face yet and things in the nature, but I can tell from your accent, brother, if you come to the United States, bro, where are you from? What? How you dress? They automatically different you. And Brian got a whole fucking different swag. I don't know if you guys seen it already. He light skinned too. I don't want to speak too much into that light skin stuff, but nevertheless, it's more so really understanding you guys how to maximize. Stop trying to be like anybody else besides yourself, and you'll find that you get way more results in that. And that's what I learned. That's why literally when guys talk to me, like, this is why I have a different lifestyle than most men, of being able to date multiple women and have sleepovers and have this and like that with my women, because I just embody being me. And also too, I became raw with myself. I'm like, look, you're gonna have to take me as I come. And from that point on, they take me as I come. It's been that easy. Now look into the actual secret twist into this. Romance is not a competitive sport, but some men struggle to see it as such. Now really ask yourself this, and all of y'all, have you ever really took the time to educate yourselves sexually and intimately? I know Rich has, you know, me and Rich went over that. I know Brian has, me and him went over that. Really ask yourselves, have you ever took the time to invest in yourselves and understand how to go about, you know, making romance, AKA intimacy, outside of sex, but even more so inside of sex, and educate yourself on that. Most, damn near all men don't even do that. We just go based upon, I got it like that and stuff like that. No, I put my shit down on her and stuff like that. Bro, who told you that? Bro, she just told me. I just talked to the girl. She said you was trash as shit. Who I'm gonna listen to? I'm gonna listen to the fucking girl, not you, bro. Because the girl gonna tell me everything. And women typically do tell me everything. But it's nevertheless, it's just to show, like, you got to put your ego and pride aside, especially sexually. Because when you have sex and it's powerful enough, it can last for days of an impression on her. It can be 10, 20 minutes. That's how powerful intimacy is. That's how much it can actually get a woman in line if you're great at that. And if you take the time to educate yourself on that. So definitely something to think about and understanding. And also outside of sex, what is intimacy? We're really actually stuff too in a romantic standpoint. Femininity can't really survive in an uncomfortable environment. It's not bred that way. It's not strong. It's very light. So if you're in an environment that's very like, just like I was telling you guys, make the situation, you know, uncomfortable sometime, or make it a roller coaster, and it's very easy to. It's more so women can't, like, I want to be submissive, but this environment, it's like, oh my God, this is so uncomfortable. I got to be strong in this, but I don't want to be strong. As a man, we bred in discomfort all the time. Masculinity shines bright in anything that's uncomfortable. That's just how that works. So for yourself, you really want to ask yourself, what kind of environment are you creating outside of sex and with sex? So there's some things to definitely think about. So far in this point in time, do anybody got any questions? Mr. Outlaw, you got any questions, my guy?
No, sirree.
Sure. What about you, Rich?
Great so far, great flow. I try to get some notes on that last slide, but we'll come back to it.
Okay, I'll put it back up. What about you, Brandon, brother?
Yeah, you said try and educate yourself romantically and sexually. Do you just mean by like through experiences? Like,
Yeah, so it can obviously, so like a lot of men, I'm glad you brought that up. A lot of men don't intend to allow themselves to reflect upon all past sexual encounters. And by doing so, you want to strategically know, and I'm not trying to use all these big words, but I'm just saying you want to kind of be mindful of what did you do right and what did you do wrong with women. And the only thing that's based upon sex as being right is, did she come? Did she have a great time? Did she orgasm? How do you know she actually did those things? How do you know when a woman actually orgasms? When she starts to quiver and shake and stuff like that. What did you do to cause that? You know what I'm saying? How does she nut and come? Did you know what pattern and rhythm that you were going about? So in the sense of sexually, there's some things like that you want to be mindful of. And as the man, when you understand and give yourself that equipment to what mentality to be in sexually, it can change the game. So like, for instance, my woman, they come minimally every time I have sex with her, over like 6 foot time. I bullshit you not. And like my woman, we had sex over 200 times. She had to account it because of her diabetic reasons. And she still feels like it's the first time every time we have sex. Still feel like the first time, and it's been over 200 times, bro. I'm trying to let guys know, like, there's too many patterns, too many rhythms, too many ways, too many over 365 sex positions and everything like that to make it different. And us as men, we have the control mechanism of we're the directors of the movie. Let's change the movie up every time. If we're gonna do the same movie, let me show you some deleted scenes in that movie so you can see it differently. So that intimacy is very powerful. And then outside of sexual intimacy, you want to have a safe environment. And safe environment is kind of just based on emotional intelligence and understanding. Women are going to talk to you all the time, every day, because she loves you. She's intrigued by you. And also, too, a man becomes a woman's best friend. So off the rip, she's going to want to tell you everything juicy happening in her life. But as a man, I had to tell my woman straight, like, look, a lot of stuff I don't care to hear. So I'll be raw like that. You need a friend. You need some other people because I don't want to hear all that stuff. And that's fine, too. So you want to know how to organize that. Did I answer your question, bro? Brandon.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yes, bro. Thank you.
Mr. All,
I had a question. My bad.
Go ahead, bro.
I feel like me and her, we like go back and forth a lot, just like the competition. But it's like this, like you said, the sex is very powerful. So sometimes I think it makes her like get emotional. You know what I mean? Especially like after having kids and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
What is a way that you can kind of let them know, like, hey, I'm trying to, it's like we could talk about it,
You trying to do what?
I don't know, just to let them know, like, it's not a competition. Like, I mean, I'm straight up, I say it, but
okay. So I mean, the thing about it is that the thing about it is that for yourself, you gotta what vibe did you set? Like, for instance, like for me, I go understanding what mode did I set whenever we first started, and the intercourse part or the actual sex. And if everybody don't know what sex is from the moment you start texting her and calling her on some dirty stuff to the moment y'all finish from all the orgasm and cuddling stuff. That's just how I look at sex.
That's how it was with me and her. It was very like, it was from the beginning, it was very like, we had a lot of sex. We were doing it a lot, and like, it was very like, yeah.
Everybody has that urge, and then it kind of withers away.
And so, especially after a while.
So for now to re-spark it for yourself, and as a man, we can't help but have, we want new pussy. We want that new energy. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Whatever energy you still have or access to woman you want to have different modes to make it very in depth, right? So that's why I go over like, understand what mode are you? Are you in the kinky mode? Are you in role play mode? Are you in spontaneous mode? Are you in animalistic? Are you just filthy? Like what mode did you put off? And that's the environment that you set.
Animalistic, man.
So you want to have different modes, right? And with those different modes, hey, what rhythm did you go? Did you just go thrust mode? Because most men, everybody knows instinct, right? But it's not just that, bro. You got to understand that surface level, right? You got 3 inches at the beginning, you got the midpoint, and then you got the actual pounding mechanism. All those are different, but let's take it over to another notch. You got the twirling motion. You see how all this doing this with your dick, bro? Your dick is your fucking canvas, bro. You got to make it. That's why women fall in love with you. Like, damn, his dick was amazing. I mean, only thing he did was just a different rhythm she's never experienced, but even more so, he probably just put her in different positions she's never been exposed to. It ain't even complicated.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
I
Rich.
go with instincts too, because for me, I usually follow I do all that. I get into all that, but I'm learning more about it. But
that's like for me, if I first have sex with a woman, I'm in instinct mode, but I have so much logic and mastery in that. I fuck her mind up completely. So it's new energy for me, but it's magnified because I'm in depth on what the fuck I'm doing. But go ahead, Rich.
Yeah, I wanted to give a testimony on that. I think I told you, but I probably didn't share it with the group. I tried that thing. You got to break it down to them, the tippy toe, the up down thing. But yeah. I don't know what, I was very conscious, like I wasn't so into the moment, so I was able to remember certain things. That in and out stuff really ain't it. Like hitting her walls though, like in like a 1 inch, 2 inch type of way, in a very deliberate like thing is like a whole different like
You want me to break it down for him? You said you want me to break it
yeah,
down.
the tiptoe one specifically, like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and it put no pressure on me to I could last, because I'm
It's
barely
easy,
doing
no
anything.
energy waste. So let me tell you guys the secret, man. A lot of guys don't understand. The standard thrusting, to be real with y'all, is basically you putting a woman through recyclable energy that she's been exposed to all this time whenever she has sex. So what does it mean? Recyclable emotions, recyclable position like that. And if you put it in a different position with that same type of rhythm, it's still like, oh, this is kind of different, but I'm already new to that. Versus actually understanding if you go about, this is where we get all the energy and effort and shit like that from, versus if you start to just move your hips in a circular motion, it ain't really much we're doing besides going around, right? But even more so, add on this, how deep are you with her? So if you're at the midpoint or if you're all the way in her, you activating all her walls inside of her. So all that is actually getting more like lube, more like wet, you know what I'm saying? She's getting more like, damn, I'm getting engaged. But typically I always tell guys, whenever you first penetrate a woman, if you're not in animalistic mode or nasty mode, you always want to go in centimeter by the centimeter, go in a little bit and come back out, and then go in a little bit further and come back out. And you're going to see her body start to quiver and start to be like, oh shit. And typically women come just from the first penetration. Literally, it don't take much. Because a lot of guys, whenever they start to have sex with a woman, they're like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna last tonight, boy. This girl got some good shit. I'm like, man, she bad as shit. Because you had that urge already. Well, look, bro, you need to disguise that and last longer. So don't thrust fast. Don't let yourself get to that weight. And if you feel like you are, go all the way inside of her and stop and multitask, kissing on her body, holding her down, embracing her and shit like that. Disguise that moment, because think about it. Women look at sex, for me, women look at sex from the moment I called her and texted, from the physical touch to foreplay, and I maximize that. I don't never take my clothes off until she takes my clothes off. She could be naked before me. I still don't take my clothes off. I see how wet she is and how ready she is. She start taking my shit off. So like, it's little verbal cues like that to understand when you first have sex with a woman, what to think about. But just like how Rich said with the other mode, it's all about, it's more so horizontal or vertical motions, if that makes sense. It's more so being strategic and like doing one way or doing another way. And there's cycles, and then obviously there's thrusting. And then there's the surface levels to it. The first 3 inches are always the most sensitive in the vulva. It's not really called a vagina. Vagina is the penetration mode, but actual vulva is the whole thing. I'll put you guys on in that actual documentary. But nevertheless, that's kind of like what Rich is saying and really applying you guys self. Like, you don't have to thrust. And by not thrusting, actually, it's the grace of lasting that much more longer. And it's literally that simple. Brandon, how did you feel about that description? Was it too much or what?
Nah, bro, that's gems right there. Cause I definitely like get into instinctual mode. As soon as you put it in, you're just going. And so that's gems right there. I need to use that.
Like, everything I'm saying too is all logical, but I'm telling all y'all, most men don't do this shit because of why that urgeness of him. And that's why the real trick for me, how I used to get out when I was younger, and I can tell you the exercise I've done when I was 18 to learn all this stuff. But the biggest thing is that how I get over it, especially nowadays, is my dick is already hard and ready to go, right? So that's why I always look to try to take her clothes off first and ease into all this too like that, because my dick is hard, but the longer he's hard, the more he's kind of just, all right, bro, I'm just gonna be hard. I'm not really gonna be satisfied. So it's always a mental battle you're doing with him. And also, whenever you're having sex so much, or whenever you know that end of the day, I don't need to come, a woman need to come. Because end of the day, for me, how I look at it, sex is for her, because she comes way more than me. She gets way more pleasure than me. But you can get more pleasure too if you want to. But the real foundation is you want her to know that, like, damn, this man always takes care of me. He always got me. And once you have that set and root, now you can just get yours whenever you want to. Now you can use her whenever you want to. I can count on my one hand how many times I actually fuck Zena and fuck my queens and just got mine. I'm like, cool, I ain't got to worry about your ass. They like being used sometimes, but like, fuck, I rarely ever do it. See what I'm saying? So you don't want the consistency of being this nigga quick, he ain't getting mine, and it's like, and most guys, once they come, it's a wrap. He going to sleep. It's night. So you want to be protective of that. And let me get into more. I know, Reed, you kind of came late, but I recorded everything, so don't worry about that. And of course, give you guys some heads up on some things. And of course, a lot of you guys already talked to, but even more so some exclusive booklets, just like I said in my bio, it's all up in there. And also too, I got some new stuff coming out. I got an audio program, and I know you guys gonna definitely need it and understand it, how men's supposed to be open versus how to be vulnerable. And that's just a big thing. We don't understand the difference between how to be open with a woman versus how to be vulnerable and when the time is to be open. And even more so, another one is the access levels, access layers. For instance, woman, whenever you guys are switching up in modes of like, hey, we're just dating right now, or hey, we actually start to be in a relationship. Hey, we're actually about to get married. Hey, we actually about to start having a family and kids and stuff like that, right? You as a man, you want to start to give more access to her. So every time y'all start to level up and move forward and stuff, she has something to look forward to because now she get more of you. But a lot of times people are like, man, he's giving me all, right? And whenever y'all switch to another level, oh, hey, look, I got a ring now. Ain't shit else changed. So after a while, she started to be like, what's changing if we start leveling up? Ain't shit changing. I still feel like we just in the same place. We may move somewhere, we may bought something, but I still feel like I have the same access to him. And so the real key to that is always being in a growing standpoint for a man, always growing. What are you learning? What are you doing? If you're always teaching her, she's always going to be like, damn, he's always putting me on something. Yeah, I'm learning real estate. You know, I got my own business. Hey, I'm doing a book. Hey, I'm doing like that. You always going to be learning something from me. So that's always new access to me because I'm always changing because all this stuff is changing me too. And so when you have that type of mindset and you expose her to that, it's something different. So a lot of times the access you give her is more about your aspirations and dreams that you don't usually tell people. So it's definitely some deep things to really think about, the levels of access, right? And that's gonna be a different audio program. And I got another one, jealousy versus envy. And of course, obviously, I don't know if you guys are listening. I've been watching the YouTube channel. I got some dope, a whole bunch of lessons on there, just a whole bunch of different topics and stuff like that I discussed previously in Treasure Chest, but just one-on-one and more in-depthness on it. Also, the Unchained Thought Show, that's actually my podcast. I'm about to start to release that again, get it recorded, just get some dope, amazing, like guests on there and stuff like that. Take that to another level. And obviously my book, Inspired Book, you already know about that. But part 2 is going to be coming out soon. So that's going to be Transpire. So, you know, that's going to be interesting. And so that's really the gist of understanding, you know, everything about this, an entirely thing of the dating mentality. And this is the webinar, it's really understanding the foundation of what you're trying to lay out. At the beginning stage, if you're saying you're dating, that means you're ready, you healed from all the past things. You're ready to look at a woman and understand her. How do I want to go about leveling this up? So to reflect, I learned from my last relationships. You know what I'm saying? So for me, how I've always done it now, if I'm dating a woman, hey, we're just dating. I need to monitor if I'm gonna see you once a week or twice a week, seeing how you respond to that. What does that mean to you? Because I know what it means to me. I'm saying I looked at, okay, it's going to be progression throughout this point. Okay, hey, yeah, I can give you the keys to my apartment after about a few months or something like that if I feel like I can trust you. But even more so, what have we talked about? What have we experienced? Because it's quick for a woman to love us. It's not quick for us to love them. Because we have to show so much of what we offer and what we provide and everything like that to them versus them. They just got to be themselves. And then after once they like, okay, you know, this guy cool. He has a lot to offer and this and like that. All right, cool, fuck it, I give him a shot. And once you done had her some intimacy with her, once you got in the dough, once you done met family, friends, stuff like that, cool. Now she's like, you know what? Damn, you know, shit. Okay, let me express more to this guy who I am. But she already loved you at that point. And you like trying to get to know her. Like, yo, shawty, you trying to move too fast. Women are always the ones trying to set something up, a girlfriend and boyfriend. I mean, that's what happened to me. And nowadays, you know, I'm just like, nah, I'm not in no rush. So I learned over time, go at your own pace and understand really how to reveal a woman to you. It's the real key. You got to ask certain questions. You got to put in certain situations. Am I doing so you get to find out what type of woman she is. But I would say at the end of the day, I don't look at longevity anymore. I don't care to look at that. Don't worry about 20 years with women. Focus on taking care of the present, which is day by day, week by week, month by month. And whenever you reflect, let that be like a testimonial, like, damn, girl, we done came too far. Okay, cool. Let's keep it up and see where it goes. I just don't get comfortable no more. And that keeps me hungry and that keeps me engaged. And also that keeps my standards high. And also that keeps her understanding, like, if I fuck up, all this is for nothing and it's not gonna be on my part. So don't put pressure on a woman that you're not expecting to put on yourself too. So yeah, so that is what it is. So Ty, man, what's some key takeaways you got, brother?
I liked everything that was conveyed. The only thing I would say I wouldn't necessarily disagree with, but to kind of caution, in my opinion, is the idea that your impeccable sex game will keep a woman, or that the idea that your impeccable sex game is going to make I think you said something like it'll make a woman act right or something like that.
No, so it's like when women be acting up all fussy and all this and like, and you dick her down, she just like,
okay, yeah, definitely. But as far as like, trying to save your relationship or, that kind of thing, and relying heavily on the sex, I wouldn't necessarily agree with that, because at the end of the day, there's always going to be another guy who got a bigger dick, who able to hit that spot better than you can, who knows a couple more things than you can, who she might even find that's more attractive than you. That's just the reality. Just like, we're men. We have a girl. If you have a girl, whatever, sure, you're going to see girls that are more attractive than your lady. Like, sure, of course you are. So it's like, to me personally, it's not the sex that's keeping the woman, or, keeping her infatuated or in love. It's more so the mental sex, the mental safari that you have with that woman. Because then if you just giving her dick or whatever, and you lacking in all of those mental areas, emotionally there, mentally there, being that leader that you were, that a woman so they crave, a leader, eventually, that dick, they'll get tired of that shit, and they're gonna go find a leader, somebody that can lead them mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and lay it down, So that was my only comment about that.
For sure. I like that mental savant. I like that how you said that. That was dope. Reese, I know you came a little late, brother, but what was some key takeaways you got? And I got all this recorded too.
For sure. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I mean, it was what I guess Allah, like I said, I'm coming in late, so I'm just piggybacking off of what I heard the last couple of minutes. But like what Allah said, it's more than just the physical, you know what I mean? Because you can have all those things down pat, and like I'm just like getting to my prime of my prowess in regards to women, you know what I'm saying? But the main thing is just paying attention to detail. Women are emotional, mental creatures, you know what I'm saying? We're the physical ones. Like we're like, God damn, I need that. You feel me? A woman, they going off into fantasy lands and shit, thinking about picnics and fucking, you thinking about beating it from the back. You know what I'm saying? We just being real since the fellas here. But shit, I mean, just to give my testimony and just the game to this fellowship, to this network of men, you know what I mean? You know me, you know what I'm saying? I had my way with the ladies. I was raised by women. I got 3 sisters and I got daughters, you know what I mean? So I got like a different edge or advantage when it comes to women. You know what I mean? I can show you on my phone right now, currently, today, the day before, testimonies of women saying, I miss you so much. I love fucking you. I can't wait to see you. But the thing about it is that the way I set it up, when I first initially meet women, I never talk about sex, because I already know, they already know that I'm naturally attracted to you. But what I do is I set it up emotionally, and I set it up in a notion to where they see what I'm bringing to the table besides that. And then I lay that plow down in the bed, you know what I'm saying? Because I believe in semen retention. And what that also does to that woman is she's like, man, I didn't please him, or he didn't come. Like, what is it? Like, why didn't I make him come? So if you come quick or whatever, one of my tricks is I use a pill sometimes, especially if I know it's the first time, you know what I'm saying? I'm going all big, because that's going, you're going to set the tone and the notion. And if she bad enough, I know she clean, I'm gonna eat that. You know what I'm saying? We grown, and shit, head game is phenomenal. But what I'm saying is, initially when you set it up, you don't even, like, I take women on dates, I don't even talk about sex. I'm asking them questions, like Heather said about, what do you see yourself? What are some things you're trying to accomplish? What are some things that you would like to do right now, or go, or what do you enjoy doing? You know what I mean? I'm genuinely invested. I never bring my phone out. And I'm gonna give y'all a game. I don't like really sharing some of my secrets, but it's okay. We in fellowship. When every woman that I court, I stand out. I show her with flowers and a bottle of wine, or a bottle of liquor if she likes that. You know what I'm saying? Initially, my first date ratio is 80 to 90%. I'm hitting on the first date 80% to 90% of the time. I promise you. And I never bring up sex, but what I'm doing is I'm courting her and I'm giving her certain notions to where she knows that, hey, this is what I like. This is what I do. This is, you know what I'm saying? What are you on? What do you see yourself? What do you see yourself accomplishing? You know what I'm saying? So even in that
to something she never had.
yeah, exactly. So even if it don't go well, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna stand out. She might not like it then and there, but she respects it. And sometimes they come back around, they're like, hey, what you doing, big head? Or you know what I'm saying?
You do like, what you doing, big head?
Right. Because sometimes some women are intimidated by it because they never been courted like that. They're like, God damn, this dude is attentive. He showed up with flowers, you know. This showing that you care, you know what I'm saying. This showing her that chivalry isn't there. I'm gonna court you properly, you know what I mean. And but with that being said, you letting the woman know like, hey, this is an investment. This is a down payment. This is to show you the caliber, the type of man that I am. And then shit, you'll see that woman gonna show out for you. She gonna the whole nine. I'm talking about fellatio, cartwheels on it, everything. You stood out. You did something that most men won't do. Just taking the initiative. Because they don't ask. I just show up with it.
The biggest thing that you said, the biggest thing that guys probably don't understand is that whatever you give a woman, she's gonna multiply. And if this is him giving her, she guaranteed needs to multiply it. And a lot of women don't know how to multiply it besides just doing everything they can possibly can. And you get to see all she has to offer quickly. And that's like that's a cheat code right there for sure. Just
right,
doing
because you laying the groundwork. You setting it up for her to do nothing but have a good time. And if you can't do that, then shit, you gotta go.
That's why
everything has been set up.
For sure. That's why whenever they come to my crib, I always cook and I always have to bring wine. But the music and everything is set. She just coming just to enjoy life. And then if you have the right question and a nice dope vibe, it's just guaranteed everything is safe and everything is just different. So I definitely love those gems.
And one more thing, fellas, never invite the women to your crib on the first date or try to go to hers, because most men do that. All they want to know is, are you willing to invest in me? Are you willing to just give me the time of day? Are you willing to take me out and treat me accordingly? In one day, like
I do breakfast or lunch. I don't even do dinner because dinner has a bad stimulation.
Yeah, I'll be busy, but it works. Brunch, dinner, lunch, mostly dinner. But like I said, it's an 80 to 90%. And it's small investments. The flowers and the wine, the bottle of wine cost me $40. The date, it depends on where we're trying to go or the type of female. You know what I'm saying? It could be $100 to $150. You know, no more than $200, and you in there. But after that, though, you don't have to spend because you just set the tone.
Yeah,
and women fuck men for free when they think you got money.
That's true. They just want to be around that energy. They just want to be around you. I appreciate you sharing all that truth in that game, brother. Rich, what were some of your takeaways, brother, from everything?
Oh, takeaways?
And some key things you want to express too.
Sure. Just the one part about, just listening and picking up on the cues of who she is. And I think creating drama is an interesting way to say it, but there's a way to say it that means, I think, more of what you're trying to say. Cause like it's like you're creating a story or creating I think she feels alive because you're
emotional stimulation.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because you're not necessarily creating drama in a way, because I took it extreme and I was like, well, let me show you I got other hoes. But
no, hold on.
Yeah, you don't do that.
No.
Yeah, like, yeah.
I do little things to get my woman attention. Like, for instance, like we just went to me and
getting her attention.
Yeah. So like I put attention to what I see. I let her get toned into what I see, right? So like, for instance, I was at a block party, right? There were certain women just kept staring at me and just like wanting to do some shit like that. And I'm just big chill. And I'm like, Zena, look at this. Like, am I tripping or is she staring the fuck at me and she just like, cool. And she looking like, no, she really like, I let her into how I see the world and what the world sees of me too. So she can also see who she's with. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said, picking the right location for your dates is everything. You want to pick a location sometime that everybody know you. Even so, it can be like, man, oh, you back again, right? With another person, like who? Like, I mean, I am, but I feel like this is a different woman, or I feel like she might be the one. If you talk to her about that in front of her, they can be like, oh, okay, well, shit. I hope, it's a nice little flex on that, but even more so, okay, damn, he has other women. Because in the day, women are pre-selective creatures. They want a stamp. They can't think for their damn selves. Hey, man, this guy is approved by everybody. Cool, I'm with it. Just like
right.
set up a good pace.
Yeah. And I like how Zena was with you at that thing, because she could help you even vet who should even be in your world in general. Like that's cool. I wanna reference something Taylor was saying about the flowers and wine and stuff on that first date. Um, I think it's because I remember another guy, I think a YouTuber, Tate or somebody, his name is. He said something like, "Women, they don't know how much money is money. Like, $1 million, 2 million, like it's fucking like having money is like having arms to like most women. Like, if you don't have it, like what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why don't you have?" So when you show up with something that's so spectacular, like a bottle of wine and a gesture like some flowers, I think it reflects a level of abundance and I know how to live lifeness that can get you away with the quote unquote cheap dates or whatever else it is, because it's not even about you spending money and you having a whole bunch of ridiculous money. Because you know what I'm saying? They just want to hear you talk about real estate. You know some shit about credit. Fucking, you honor your path. You have a future. Like that's what money is. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to be swiping an Amex. But I will tell a quick story. I was at Belan's, which is it's not very expensive, but decent meal, you're gonna spend like 75, 100. It's a spot in Miami Brickell. And I was there with some other guys who were at this little table doing the hookah thing or whatever. We were all talking. I wasn't smoking. And I saw her there by herself at one of the high tables thing, eating by herself, black girl. So I got up, went over to her thing. Her big purse was in the thing. I was like, "Yo, you mind if I move this and sit with you?" And I was just very like forward with her. And there was a couple right next to her, like at the other table, that completely like stopped talking and like started listening in and shit. And I'm like, so pressure's like really on because we both peeped that. So like I move her purse, I sit down with her, and then we fast forward at the end of the meal. We have a very interesting thing now because I told the waiter to bring an extra drink for her and for me. And then he brought out one check. So now I got to pay for her whole meal that I didn't take a part of. I didn't see that coming. Oh shit. I just sat down and was like, yeah, let me get another drink and, water, bottle of water. And, I wasn't thinking. So when the check was on the way, I got up and sat back at my table. And, because, and then I came back and sat down. I saw the check. It was like 300. What did you eat? Because when I sat down, she wasn't eating an entree. It was like a drink and like a little thing. So the pressure's really on now because I done added to her tab. I don't know what's about to happen. But she also had a hookah, yeah. So I asked for one of her hookah plastics and there weren't enough, which gave me another excuse to get up. So I got out of there. And she paid her check and everything. I'm glad she was able to pay it. And on her way out, because she wasn't waiting for me, right? So she's waiting for her Uber, like right outside it's like an outdoor restaurant. So like I could like hop the bushes and like get to her, which is what I did. Cause I look up and I was like, oh, so I hopped the bushes. I was like, damn, you just gonna leave? And she was like, oh, I was like, yeah, I owe you dinner. Like, what's up? So by like making her invest is how I kind of twisted it. Was like, well, damn, I wanted to pay for that. So now I have to take you out.
Yeah,
otherwise,
integrity. Your integrity is in line.
Yeah, and exactly. I opened her Uber door. She hopped in and, she felt very good about me chasing after her, quote unquote, because she was like really about to like two-step leave.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So just a funny story to throw out there. Just careful sitting at people's tables, adding to their tab, because I did not see the outcome of that.
And another gem too, you guys can understand. I don't know why this is becoming lost, bro. But typically when I go to parties or any type of gatherings, whoever house or whoever crib it is, I just bring a bottle of wine and like a little gift from Ross, something wrapped and quick. And it just shows like, hey man, hey, I appreciate the invite. I appreciate you coming. Here you go. Type of vibe. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? He's bringing gifts. We don't even know him. I don't know his name. I like him now. You automatically stamp whoever's running it. And I typically do that just for women, if I'm going to women gatherings. But if it's one of the homies, if I got one of my books, I just give them one of my books. Hey man, I appreciate it. And just by giving that type of vibe, it automatically gives like this guy got a good heart, or like, damn, this is not common anymore. And it's crazy, just like Reece said, chivalry is not common anymore, and it should be normal. But unfortunately to say, with these nowadays women, we have to do it all. And when I say do it all, to breed longevity, that's why you want to do it all. So it's definitely something to think about. Noah, man, what are some of your key takeaways, brother?
I think the biggest thing I've been realizing is it's all about energy, man. Like sometimes I realize like you can't. So when you give your energy to the wrong person, you could just feel that, you know. But I learned a lot of stuff in the slideshows. I've been learning a lot. I'm trying to see how the women think, you know, because sometimes it's hard for me to, you know, I'm just trying to pipe, you know, I'm just trying to whatever. And it's like after that, it's like, all right, what else? What else we doing?
So you don't want to overthink. That's why you want to have strategic thinking. Like for instance, if like a building, right? If I'm about to build this damn building, I'm like, bro, I'm not about to think about how much work I'm about to do. Or what's the first thing? Let me set down the foundation. What's the next thing? Organize yourself and to maximize of what to think about. Foundation of anything is what the hell do you want out of dating her or getting back with her?
Yeah.
That's the
the thing is like I was single like a couple months ago and I was like with like 4 or 5 girls, whatever, and like it was like every single one of them, they're like crazy as hell. And I was like, damn, this single shit, man. Single shit is crazy, man. It's real shiesty out here, man.
It is.
I had an incident, right? I'm at this girl's house and we're laying, she got her legs on me and all that. And her phone started blowing up. And it's her baby father. And I see on the phone, it said, oh, you know, I still love you. Whoop the whoop. And I'm at her house. So I'm looking at her like, I was like, nah, I dipped. I was like, nah.
You gotta go. It's a situation.
I came back and then like, it's just crazy, man. I'm just like, yo.
Definitely understand. We're gonna get you right, man. We're gonna get you right. So you won't be in situations like that. Brian, man, what are some of your key takeaways, brother?
It's just I don't even know. It's like too much, y'all. It was just like it was just crazy, just overwhelming with all the different perspectives and stuff from everybody. Just insight on how they're looking at certain things. But one key take that Rich did say before when he was all like excited and stuff, I related to him about the little the toe thingy, all that and the swirls and all that stuff. So I was relating to that part, you know, like for real, because we just had that discussion. So
yeah, we did. You tried it on your girl and it fucked her up, huh?
it did.
I'm trying to tell y'all, man.
It did.
You wouldn't even break a sweat, how you just like, yeah. She's like, oh, stop. I'm like, girl, I ain't do nothing to you yet. I just yeah, that's all. Like, damn, wait till I start getting to you. Wait till I start getting in. And even more so too, the pounding part, bro, I just use my body weight, honestly. But we can get all that into detail. But it's definitely like a lot of complexities, man. Even starting adding food. Like, I don't know if you ever seen a movie called Tripping, but adding food with sex, like whipped creams and things of the nature, bro, that's a game changer. Like I'm about to go ahead order some, I'm about to go ahead surprise Zena with that shit and have all this laid out with cans and shit. She don't know. And I had a bath and stuff running and boy, all this little shit like that. Just like how Reeves said, it ain't much to set that foundation. But the thing about it is that you guys, that because I'm different breed, I have to keep this pace. So you have to make it fun for yourself. And how to make it fun is understanding what you're doing differently and you see what you're doing is different. At the end of the day, we all love new pussy. We all love the new energy of what it brings. But even more so, if you have a dope and powerful woman around you, you got to appreciate it. And you got to understand, okay, shit, well, look, you know, I love this and stuff, but, you know, we need another woman. And she going to be with the shit because she knows that you can keep it and you can maintain it. And even more so, she's going to still be taken care of. So, and I just have been learning that, man, a lot of women are okay with that. So that's just something to think about. So, yeah, man, that is the dating webinar. Go ahead, Reese.
No, I was going to say, you're right, man. A lot of women are definitely down with that. All my women are down. They know, fuck, I just walked excited with it. Fuck. But no, the main thing that I learned is that because I used to be a player, meaning that I used to fucking lie to get in women pants and shit. But like Rich did the other day, he was playing Russian roulette. You know what I'm saying? If I meet a woman, I gotta control the tone and everything from the get-go. So if I meet her, I'll call you or I'll text you, and then I'll start the conversation and set it up from there to see if you even worth taking out. Because you know, Once you heal yourself, you go from being want to be chose to you doing the choosing. You know what I'm saying? So you know if a woman into you or not, or if she just playing games, because she gonna constantly want to text you or be around you. But anyway, like Caleb was saying, man, if you let a woman know off the strength, like, hey, this is what I'm about, this is what I like, this is what I do. You know what I mean? But you can't just come out right off the bat, like, you meet a woman like, hey, I'm trying to fuck, shorty. You can't say that. You know what I'm saying? You got to play the game. You know what I mean?
You can say
I
like how
like to.
you go
Look,
ahead.
look, tell her, baby. Look, she know.
I was gonna say.
Right. You know what I'm
I was gonna
saying?
say.
But
Go ahead.
Go Reed. Go
oh
Tom.
no, I was just saying set the tone. But if you come off initially and you let the woman know this is what I'm on, and you gave her the option of the choice, you set up the win already. But if you try to reverse it on her, and like you the only one, baby, you my one and only. Like, I'm gonna give you that ring. I'm a. Then you try to come in and reverse it with the polygamy. She like, she's not having that, because you wasn't real from the get go. You wasn't who you originally said you were. All my women, they like, let's go to trapeze, yo. I want to go to the Serena Club, because they want to please me. They invested into me because I invested in them. And like Caleb said, they know that regardless of who come around or what come around, because she's here and she set the tone and the foundation, I'm gonna take care of home first, and everything else is a plus. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And they need to know that. Go ahead, Mr. Outlaw.
I was just gonna say sometimes I play the long game, by planting little seeds. Like, if it's a woman that I know I'm probably gonna see again somewhere in the community, sometime, like, I know for sure, I don't know when I'm gonna see her, but I'm gonna see her again. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of those type deals. I'll fuck around and just give her a nice ass compliment and then walk away, not even talk to her for the rest of the night, nigga. And then on me, that second time we talk, it never fails, bro. That second time that she sees me, it's always like she remembers my name, and she comes up and says, "Hey, like, how you been?" And then, all right, yeah, it's already there. It don't matter if it was 1 month, 2 months, shit. Sometimes it'd be a year. That seed was planted, and that shit come back, and the next thing you know, yeah, exactly. You'd have planted a lot of seeds, and then them joints start growing randomly. You'd be like, "Damn, I remember all I did was give her a compliment a couple months ago. Now she on my line. Like, that's what's up." Like, shit like that.
It's definitely something to think about. And I think also too, man, I appreciate you guys coming and getting these gems. It's all recorded, and you guys are gonna definitely have access to this, obviously, to replay back. But even more so, man, I want to take it to another level, man. I wish, and I hope, and I'm asking you guys to take 30 seconds out of your time to just say, "Hey, yo, my name is such and such, man. I just attended a Data Seekers webinar, and this is my key takeaway." A little 30-second video and send it to me. That'll be amazing. So I can have this link available for other people to really want to get into here and listen to these gems, because it's not just about me. Rich, you're a fucking monster with the intellect. Ty, obviously Reed, we got all the homies in here. Noah now, it's always dope. And I definitely want to push to have other people come in and tune in and actually hear some good information like this. Go ahead, Rich.
Yo, you want to just run it now, and then you could cut it from the video?
Oh, I don't really know how to. Okay, let me see how to do that.
I think if you hit pause recording and then start it again, or hit stop.
Yeah, bro. Technically, we already said our takeaways, so you could kind of just take that video and just chop it up.
Okay, I think I can do it. I figured it out. I figured it out, I guess.
You're screen recording, right?
Yeah, yeah, actually.